Do you have a desire, have a dream that you've been, a goal, an initiative, something in your life that you've been working at for a while? And maybe things aren't moving quite the way that you would like for them to move. They may not be moving as quickly. Things aren't falling into place. You hear that it's just not falling into place. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. And do you find yourself asking the question, is it time to throw the towel in? Is it time to call it quits? So that's what I want to jump into this right away. So that's what we're going to get into today. I'm going to give you 2 ways to know whether or not it's time to throw in the towel. If you're liking what you're hearing, hit the like button, hit the share button, drop some comments in the comment section. And I have a 3-part audio. Now, I haven't quite figured out how to deliver it to you. I'm going to let my assistant figure that out. But I have a 3-part audio where I really take you deep into this system, this spiritual success system that I share with you on a consistent basis. And I want to give that to you today as a gift. We just may have to figure out how to get it delivered to everybody, but we will get that figured out. So if you want that, put the word life in the comment section, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about your life. So my name, for those of you who don't know, my name is Felicia Searcy, and it is my joy to be your partner in believing. I have had the honor of helping thousands of people around the globe create lives that they absolutely love, knowing that as we all step into this, truly it is our highest form of service. It's our greatest way of contribution to the planet. So I see some folks. There's Stacy and Becky and Apostle Tamer and Christine. I don't know who else is here. That's who I can see. So really delighted to be here. And Stacy and Becky, it's so good to see you all again. They were there this past weekend where we really took a deep dive into life and what seeking to express and emerge by means of each one of you. So here's the situation. Becky so poignantly and so brilliantly shared this during the weekend that you have an initiative, you have a goal, you think when it first drops in, you're all excited and you are so convinced that you can do this, that you have that unwavering belief that absolutely you can do this. And then you start moving your feet. Things aren't falling into, the universe, or let me change the language with this, the world doesn't necessarily open its arms and say, yay, let's support you 100% with this. In fact, what can happen, and what I hear consistently, particularly when people really don't understand the cause of our results, don't understand that there really are immutable laws that govern our results. It's one thing to be able to articulate it and have a conceptual understanding. It's a whole nother thing to consciously apply this rigorously throughout the fabric of your day. So there's an idea that drops in, and you percolate with this idea, you marinate this idea, and you say, oh my gosh, I would love that. And you begin to take action. You begin to move this initiative forward. People don't respond the way you want them to. Things don't move in the way that you want them to. You're working really hard, and it seems like that no matter how hard you work, things really just aren't going to make that radical leap. I shared Saturday that there was a point in time, when I was considering, do I keep this thing going? The thing that I was working on, this, that version of my work. And there was this one particular initiative. So I don't know if you can, we got to figure out a way to raise your hand in the comment section. Me too. That would be a good one. Me too. That there was this, I had a burning desire to really bring a degree of this work to the world. And I worked crazily to try to move this. And it was 15 years I dedicated a piece of my life to this. Now, I built a really good work. The work I did build was, it served, and people gained terrific value from it, and it was nowhere near what I knew was possible and what I wanted. And I remember there was one initiative in particular that I thought this was going to bust the energy free. This was the thing that was going to really move this thing forward. And so I put lots of resources in this. I poured finances and time and energy, and it fell flat. It just fumed. Nothing about it changed. Now, I got a decent result. Again, it was a good work, but nowhere near the energy I put into it, and nowhere near what I thought was possible, what I heard other people doing. It's that thing of, oh my God, other people are doing this. Why can't I? And see if you can relate to this. But after that, I just remember feeling so frustrated and so inadequate, and really wondering, is this the thing that I'm supposed to do? Now, I'm really grateful that I allowed myself to hear a voice inside of me that got activated through that process, and that I became willing to act on that voice. And the voice was, and here's what I'm going to say to you. The voice was that when you have this kind of desire, there cannot be the desire without the means to bring it into the facts of your life. So how do you know if this is the thing for you to do? When you're right there at the verge of just saying, Uncle, I quit. I ain't got it in me to do this. How do you keep going? Number one, you go back to what I bring to this broadcast, these live broadcasts consistently. One of the things that I was so gratified with, as people shared their experience this past weekend, and particularly with people that I've had the honor of working with for a period of time, is where they have come to appreciate repetition, the power of repetition. So here it comes. The thing I want to help you understand is that the desire is not yours. Let me say that again. The desire, your dream, it's not your desire. It's life seeking to wake you up into an even greater version of you. So when we're backing away, oftentimes we're dismissing our desire. You have relegated your desire to something as foolish. All right, let me know. People are hanging out, so I'm not hearing anybody else tell me there's no sound. Becky, text me, or somebody put in the comment section if you're not able to hear this. Brian, let me know if you're able to hear this. So I'm talking about the nature of desire, that you bump up against that edge wondering if is this the thing that you really are supposed to do. Okay, Apostle Tamar, I'm hearing from you that you can't hear me, but I'm not hearing from anybody else. All right, so Brian or Stacy or Becky. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so Apostle, if anybody can hear me, it may be something with your computer. So, and I appreciate you reaching out to double check on that. So what happens with most people is that, they've got this dream, they have desire, they pour everything that they know in that moment into trying to move it forward, and you just can't get the momentum going. And so you dismiss your desire. You think, I'm being unrealistic, or I'm being ungrateful, or maybe it's just not the right time, or maybe it can work for other people, but it can't work for me. Whatever it is, there's a whole trigger of thoughts, a whole train of thoughts that gets triggered, and effectively you dismiss your desire. If you understand that the true nature of your desire is this life force that woke you up this morning, that wove you into existence in the first place, then you realize that to back away from your desire is to back away from the holy conversation. It's to back away from the essence of who you are in the first place. It's to back away from the very power of the universe. So first and foremost, it's to realize that your desire was designed into your heart by the very power that woke you up this morning. Now, that's all warm and fuzzy, but it doesn't necessarily give you what you need then to move your initiative forward. So first way to know, do I throw in the towel, is to ask yourself, do I still love this? Could I imagine life without, and then fill in the blank? I know with what I do, I couldn't imagine not being able to do this. In fact, I can't stop myself from doing this. So how do you know it's time to throw in the towel? Ask. Or how do you know it's not time to throw in the towel? Hey, Jessica, good to see you. Jessica, you stayed with this. You know what it is to stay true to initiative that's bubbling up for you. I mean, you know, we worked together 3 or 4 years ago. No, it was longer than that because I was still in Tennessee when we worked together. And you reached out and said, hey, I've been applying what I'm learning. And now you're moving. So to ask, am I still in love with this? And then the second question to ask yourself is, am I backing away out of discouragement or disappointment? You never back off of a dream because you're discouraged, you're disappointed, or out of fear. If you remember what I consistently talk about the purpose of your dream, the purpose of your dream is to grow you into an even greater version of who you are created to be. That means the dream, Apostle, I wish I could help you. So I'm going to encourage you to go back and listen to the replay because it's interesting that the sound's going out for you at this point. You know, because like I said, other people are sharing that they're able to hear it. So, the purpose, you know, remember the purpose of your dream is to grow you into a magnificent version, an even greater magnificent version of yourself, which means the very nature of your dream is going to trigger beliefs, an identity of yourself. It's going to bump you up against the ceiling of how much good you'll allow into your life. And it's going to effectively throw up a mirror about what are the things that you're not aware of? What are the skills that you don't have? And who do you need to grow into in order to be a match for that dream? So one of the things that I often hear from my mentor, and I read it someplace recently, so it's one of those lines that just keeps getting handed down, is that the curriculum, the content of your life is the curriculum of your evolution. That edge of how do I get this thing going in that moment, that is the content that life is inviting you into in order for you to step into the curriculum of your evolution. So as you get clear around, okay, I'm backing away because I'm discouraged or I'm disappointed or, you know, all of a sudden I got really afraid, then you can get clear that this is not life saying for you to back away, but it's either that part that has really come to trust the information that the five senses gives you, or you're bumping up against a level of success that you just haven't figured out how to accommodate yet, that your system doesn't know what to do if you get that much more good in your life, that much more freedom. So what do you do? What do you do? So before I answer that question, let me remind you that if you want a gift from me, and it's a 3-part audio where I really tease this apart. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours worth in audio with a workbook. And we'll, if you put the word life in the comment section, we're going to figure out how to get it sent to you. I haven't quite, my poor team, I haven't quite figured out technically. We just may need to send you the link directly, or get your email and have you give us your email and send you the link to this program. But it's a really good piece of work that I am more than happy to share with you to really help you get in there and get going, get your dream going. So when you realize that the content of whatever's going on is the curriculum of your evolution, number one, it causes you to stay in the game more, to realize, okay, it's that part of me that can't wrap my head around how this could really happen. Or I'm not able, I get so seduced. You get so seduced by what the facts tell you can do. And the content of your evolution, the content of your life is the curriculum of your evolution. One of that is to learn how to have a much greater degree of faith in this power moving through you, and faith in the invisible images than in what the facts and conditions, the information, the data that you're picking up with your five senses. When you realize this, you become willing to do what can seem foolish, what can seem nonsensical. And that is that you begin to move in life as the man, as the woman who created those results. Now, there's a conversation that happens when you create a new set of results, when you create a new set of success. I'll never forget the month I generated that month, what I used to do annually, and I mean, I've blown past that. But that first month that happened, and my annual income was a pretty healthy income, considering where I was, in Tennessee, my insides just went crazy. They went crazy because I didn't know what to do with that. I mean, it's like all these crazy images got triggered. And I remember going to my mentor. In fact, I had an appointment with her to physically go over to her house to help me ground this, and to be completely transparent. The next month or month after that, my results just went they just went way down because I hadn't quite learned how to stabilize it. You can have the skill to create the result, but if you're not a match for it, it won't stay. One of the things that I've talked about here, and I talked about this weekend, is that there's a phenomenon called having things by divine right of consciousness. That when you truly put on and become a match in identity, a match in your thinking, a match in your expectation, you become a match in consciousness with what is it that you say that you want, divine right of consciousness. You're putting that on and you're thinking from that state of awareness. And so when it begins to happen, there's not that part of you that's wanting to push it away, and you're not even aware that that's what you're doing. But here's how you know it's not yours yet. It's not yours when you feel excited. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this under this topic, how do you know when it's time to throw the towel in, is because this is the piece that 96% of the population misses. That it's not just about having the skill and taking the steps, having the technical skill, having, knowing what to do with marketing, knowing how to have the conversation, knowing how to, having the tips on how to have a loving conversation in a relationship. It's not just a matter of having the skill, but it's a matter of being able to identify with and as that person. And you are literally moving in your world as the person that created that result. This nuance is everything. It's everything. This is why I stay. Even, I'm heading down tonight to a town called Costa Mesa. It's in Orange County, down towards San Diego, where my business consultant is putting on a 5-day event. The first 2 days are for those of us who work with her at a very personal level, and then it's an event, a 3-day public event, and I'm speaking 2 or 3 times throughout the weekend. I have somebody in my life who helps me be able to logistically see the elements of my business, be able to know what skills I need to learn. And I stay in awareness training. That means I stay in training to help me continue to grow in understanding how our results are created and help support me in being able to identify as the person who created those results, to literally move in the world from a state of awareness, an expectation of these results. Because if that piece is not in place, it doesn't matter how much you're learning. I'm not saying that you're not going to make any changes, but God dog, it's going to be hard. And then that's where the roller coaster is. You go up and then down, you go up and go down, because it's not yours by divine right of consciousness. So when we're talking about throwing in the towel, first of all, to ask the question, can I imagine life without this? Would I love this if it really happened? And if the answer continues to be a resounding yes, then it's not life pulling you away. There's actually 3 questions to ask yourself. The second question is there something even more alive making, more engaging, more empowering that's seeking to make itself known to me? And if the answer is no, then whatever the initiative is, that's still yours to do. That's still life saying, this is yours to do. And then the third question is, am I stepping away? Am I wanting to throw in the towel out of fear, out of discouragement, out of disappointment? And if you're able to really take an honest look and the answer's yes to those questions, then this is still yours to do. So then the question becomes, here's the question. Then the question becomes, then who is it that I need to grow into even more in order to be a match for this dream? The content of my life is the curriculum of my evolution. Your dream is your content. And the content is to invite you into a greater awareness of what your next incarnation of who you are created to be. The content of your life is the curriculum of your evolution. As you really come to understand that, then you come to realize, and you become even more committed to staying true to this life force that's wanting to grow you and express by means of you through the form of your dream, and the less inclined you will to back away. Now, again, this is why I stay in support. I got to tell you, I can't, when it was time for me to really take that next leap and grow my team. Severina, you're here. Good. Oh, and so that if Severina's putting that means she's got it figured out. So yay, Severina. Thank you, Severina. But when I was bumping up against that edge of knowing that I needed, in order to truly serve in the way that I want to serve, I needed to expand my company. I needed to bring more people in for support. I got to tell you, that thought wanted to freeze me in my tracks. And I can remember having conversations, and I'm very grateful that I have continued to stay plugged into my mentor. So I'm going to do a little bird walk. I could not imagine standing or sitting before you all and saying this stuff works and have a mentor in your life if I did not continue to have an awareness mentor. I have a business consultant and an awareness mentor, somebody who helped me stay aware of what my Oh, good, Brian. I'm thrilled to be able to share that with you. You know, what my relationship is with in any given moment with my facts, my conditions, and myself. So it's as you understand the nature of your desire, understand that the fact that you have the desire means you have everything required to bring it into form, and understand the process of what is it to grow into that person, to become a match for that person, and not pay attention. So the voice that was triggering, and I remember this conversation with my mentor, I'm good. I'm really good right where I am. I mean, we have a rich, abundant life. We pretty much have everything that we want. I have to ask myself, do I really want to grow? Do I really want to bring in a team? Do I really want to be the woman who's now managing, client care and marketing and, bringing in somebody now to do events as my events continue to grow? Do I really want to be that woman? And as I got clear and I was able to hear, I love this. I love what happens in people's lives as a result of this work. And who would I say, nope, I can't work with you because I'm not willing to grow? I mean, effectively, that's what we're saying. Hey, I don't want you in my life. I don't want this in my life because I'm not willing to grow. I'm good right where I'm at. I'm just going to stay in my little bubble here, and I'm going to turn that good down. I'm going to say to the universe, I'm good. I don't need any more good in my life because I don't want to grow. Effectively is what we're saying. And when I realized that, I said, oh my gosh, there's no way I could continue to do what I'm doing if I'm saying I'm good right where I'm at, because I don't want the discomfort that's required in order to have to grow to be the woman who's a match for that. And as I got clear with that decision, I became willing to lean in even more, stare those voices, that fear, just whatever was going on that said whatever it was saying, and be the woman to continue to put on that identity, take those action steps as I'm consciously becoming a match for it, and my world is reflecting exponentially in terms of the number of people I'm able to serve, my income that continues to grow, and the results that people I work with are creating for themselves. So I share that with you as an example of really leaning into that question. Is it time for me to throw in the towel? Do you still love what is knocking at the door of your heart? Is there something better coming along? Because the only life-giving reason there is to give up on a dream is there's something even better that's making itself known. Or by the same token, am I stepping away out of fear, discouragement, disappointment? And if those are the cases, then reach out and let somebody help you. I don't care if it's me. Of course, I would love it if it's me, but somebody to help you go after that, reframe it, and really support you in moving forward and what's truly coming alive for you. All right. So do you want my 3-part audio to really go much deeper into this? Put the word life in the comment section. My amazing assistant has figured out how to do that. And we will get that to you. And I will go live again, and if this is serving you, comment, share, be sure to share this. If this has served you, do somebody else a favor and be sure to share this. And mark your calendars, because I'll be back 12:15 Pacific time next Tuesday, whatever the date is. Next Tuesday, as we go deeper into what is it to move your dream in your imagination into the facts of your life. What does it take to move your dream into the facts of your life? All right. My name is Felicia Searcy. It is my joy to be your partner in believing your dream is my passion. Mwah! God bless. See you soon.